Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Thursday, December 7th, 2023. It's been a privilege and an honor to be part of this community with you for over 3.5 years, almost 4 years, finding friends from all over the world just to say good morning, to find each other, to learn some Torah, to give each other some strength and some inspiration, and to know that we're here together, we're in this together. And so while we are waiting for all of our friends to join us, let's say good morning and not wait. So good morning to Penny, it's good to see you. Barry, Linda, and Linda, Arlene, Renee, and Anna, good morning. It's broadcast 943, and friends, join me in wishing Penny Goldsmith a mazel tov. A new granddaughter was born to her yesterday. Mazel tov to you and your family, dear friend. What a gift to share that light with you. Deborah and Caroline, good morning. Fabrice, sending love to Paris. Marilyn and Deborah, sending love to San Francisco. Hope that you're well. Catherine, sending love to Australia. Good to see all of you here. Patricia, lovely to see you. Everyone, Penny on Facebook is saying Mazel Tov. If you're here with us on YouTube, which is a new dimension today, here with us on Instagram, which is not so new, and on Facebook, good to see all of you. Valerie Hineni, right with you, by your side. Stanley and Cecile, Diane, good to see you. Hi, Shari. All right, friends, let's take a breath. For those who were with us 2 days ago when I picked up this guitar but had not yet tuned it, please know I've done tshuva. Here we go. Take a breath, sing a blessing, learn some Torah. All right, friends. So grateful to have this moment with you, to be able to share Torah. It's Erev Chanukah, and it's a tough time in our history. It's a tough time in Jewish history. It's also a moment where in the Torah reading that we have, our weekly Parsha, we are reading about the story of Joseph, and it's very powerful to see that Joseph's journey that begins way up there, he eventually descends and descends and descends from the pinnacle of his father's favored position and the pinnacle of the dream bearer in his family to falling down, being thrown into a pit by his brothers, eventually being thrown into a pit of a dungeon in Egypt. All of it to knock him down off his pedestal. And Hanukkah can connect with this idea. I asked my wife, who's here with us today, hi Neshama, for a little bit of Torah on Yosef. And she shared with me the concept that Joseph, when he is at the bottom of the bottom, finally prays. Now, that's not the text. The text doesn't say that he prayed for the first time. We don't know that he had never prayed before, but it makes sense that in a moment of dire need, his prayer life changed, his spirituality truly changed. He matured as a human being. So here we are, friends, in a moment where in so many ways, we have been knocked down. It's true. And Jewish history is replete with examples of moments, sometimes very long moments, where the Jewish people has suffered. And that darkness is resembled, is mirrored in the exact season where we celebrate Chanukah. Tonight is when we celebrate Chanukah, and it is a question mark. How can we celebrate? The last major holiday we had, friends, was Simchas Torah, October 7th. And so, how do we celebrate? So, I want to share with you a few different thoughts and one image. I was in conversation yesterday with a very powerful teacher, Rabbi Yafa Epstein, who is the scholar in residence at the Jewish Education Project, a partner of UJA's, a friend, and we were teaching together. It was my first time trying to teach together during these complicated weeks since October 7th. And I was really gratified by the chance to plan a little bit of Torah, to share with a friend, to be in conversation. And the question was asked of both of us, how do we, friends, how do we celebrate? How should Hanukkah look this year? What if we don't feel it in our hearts before we light? And those are fair questions. And it occurred to me as we were having this conversation, really sparked by Rabbi Epstein's teachings, that the Talmud gives us an answer. It's not an answer that ends the pain, that ends the darkness, even though the central language of Hanukkah is Banu Choshech Legaresh. We are here to banish the darkness. But it actually helps to know that in the past, the question has been asked, though differently. In Masechet Brachot, in the book of blessings in the Talmud, the very first volume, the question said, what if you say the Shema and you didn't mean it? Which is a strange question. How could you say the Shema without intending it? The Talmud's answer is you were proofreading the text but not intending to pray. You just did what you were supposed to do without the requisite intention, spirituality, what we call kavanah. And I would give a different example, which is sometimes when I'm praying and my heart's not in it, because your heart can't always be in it. That's just not a fair expectation to have. I remember this moment, praying and forgetting that I just said that paragraph of the Amidah. I finished it, and it was as if I hadn't said it. And from a position of commandments as obligations, did what I did count? Did it count if I performed the action but was so absent-minded doing it? That's actually partially an answer to tonight's quandary. What happens if your heart is struggling in the mitzvah of just striking the match and lighting the candle feels like too much? Both the joy of it and the light of it and even the action. What happens, friends? What happens? The answer in the Talmud is actually fascinating. I used to not like it. The answer is mitzvot enot tzrichot kavanah. A mitzvah doesn't require intention. I used to hate that because that meant I was doing things mechanically. I was praying, saying the Shema without bringing any intention to it. But actually think about what that means tonight, friends. If your heart struggles with the idea that you have the freedom to light a candle, to celebrate something that 153 human beings still in captivity and our traumatized people is struggling to feel, remember that striking the match, and this is Rabbi Yafa said this last night, just striking the match itself is the action. Piercing the darkness with a little bit of fire is the action. And then the Talmud, as if the Talmud came after that, and then the Talmud says we are actually obligated to do the act, and our intention would be wonderful, but is not the requirement. The requirement is move forward through time. We mark these days. We mark these days. That doesn't mean we feel every time we move through a moment. And in fact, I had this memory that came back to me last night. A few weeks ago, when Neshama was participating in a concert in solidarity with the Hostages and Missing Families Forum, it was held at Romamu in New York City, the Upper West Side. A brother of a hostage, who thank God has since been released, brother was talking about he didn't understand why it was hurting so much. It was a Havdalah concert. Why was this not working for him? He said, and I realized because Havdalah marks time, and I have not felt time pass since October 7th. Every day is a continuation. Every day is October 7th. This brother of a hostage whose name was Yarden, who is now, thank God, free, shared with all of us. And we are called, friends, to move forward, as Susan's saying now, move forward through time, even if the intention is not there, even if it is impossible to fathom that it has been 8+ weeks, 61+ days since October 7th. It is a different day, and time is moving forward. And even if we can't feel it, lighting the match is incredibly essential. And I want to give you one more glimpse into inspiration, which moved me beyond words. So there is a tradition for Chanukah, and Chanukah alone, that if you're traveling and you don't have access to lighting Chanukiah, you can have someone else light for you. Fulfill your obligation by them thinking of you when they light. It's beautiful. It's a unique tradition, actually. We often say you can't have a vicarious fulfillment of a mitzvah. You have to do it yourself. And I saw an image, a video yesterday of yeshiva boys, and I mean Haredi yeshiva boys, who within the context of the modern state of Israel have not always had a simple experience, nor has the mainstream Jewish world had a simple experience of Haredi Judaism. And denominationalism and political difference, that is a luxury of peacetime. And this makes it clear, this image. I saw a video of yeshiva boys setting up 143 Chanukiot. These yeshiva boys preparing to light Chanukiah for every hostage. You want to know what it is to move through time? It is to see that there are glimpses into a Jewish future where we light for each other, where we love each other, where we fight and live and believe and hope for each other, even when we don't feel it all the way down to our souls. We are called to act and to pierce the darkness with Jewish ritual, which holds us. Jewish ritual holds us. It doesn't answer everything, but ritual holds us steady in a shaky world. Chanukah, my friends, is our attempt to hold steady and to see the light where there isn't enough of it. Chanukah happens at the darkest moment on the calendar. And if that isn't to teach us the power of one flame, to light up the world, to give us hope where there seems like there's none. This night, tonight, friends, and in Israel, literally right now, just close your eyes for a second and send the light that is within you, that you don't have a choice to be or not. You're alive. You are full of light. The image of God contains incredible illuminating power. That's what it is to be you right now. Send that light to our homeland. Send that light to our sisters and brothers in Gaza. Send that for the safety of our soldiers. Send that to bereaved parents and children and grandchildren. Send that to Jewish children on college campuses who are experiencing hardship. Send that to elected officials to make wise decisions. Send that to University Board of Trustees to hold their presidents accountable when they don't call out genocide as an absolute abomination and an affront to everything higher education is supposed to represent. Send that to your clergy who are struggling mightily to hold Jewish community together. Send that to yourself. Send it to yourself. Light one candle within you. Light one light within you. Because in fact, when you look at the requirements for Chanukah, as discussed in Masechet Shabbat in the Talmud, the only requirement is to light one candle every night. And that means one candle on the first night, one candle on the second night, one candle on the third night, and we do not feel satisfied by doing the minimum of light bringing. We are called to be maximal light bringers. In Hebrew, mehadrin min ha-mehadrin. We are called to bring more light than is required. But remember, tonight, if you find yourself struggling, light one candle. If you find yourself with some extra strength, light another candle. Look up a name of someone being held hostage. Think about the Bibas family. Think about Hirsch, Goldberg, Poland. Think about the souls we've lost. Light one candle. Even if you don't feel it, light it. And maybe the fire that you have the power to ignite, even when your soul isn't fully activated, maybe that light will help you become more activated, stronger as a light bringer. We have power, friends, untold power to bring light, especially when it's dark. Let that be what we do together as a people. We defy the darkness. We have important spiritual nuance when it comes to any expectation. God forbid we would expect ourselves to be fully present and fully joyful as if, but one day may that be so. There are stories during the Shoah of people saving some rations of oil collected from their food to light a Chanukah candle. If they could do it in that circumstance, we can do it in ours. Let's light candles, friends. Let's illuminate the world one spark at a time. As we do that, as you prepare your own soul for tonight's lighting of Chanukah candles, let's remember that we have always pierced the darkness with our hope. On your screen, I hope you're able to see the Israeli flag behind me, and if not, maybe I'll move a little bit. I don't know if on Instagram you can see it, but you can see it on Facebook. Let's end with a defiant Hatikva. Let's close our eyes and imagine the light right in front of us that we can send forward into the darkest corners of any space. Imagine that by calling them to mind, someone being held hostage knows they are loved and they're not alone. By calling to mind survivors' families, by calling to mind traumatized released captives, by calling to mind all of the people in need right now, including civilians on the ground in Gaza. Imagine calling all of them to mind and effectively telling them they're not alone and we only wish for them light. One day, friends, may we open our eyes and see them all right in front of us. Let's sing Hatikva now. Kolod balevav penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefate mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia Od lo avda tikvatenu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim Liot am chovshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim Liot am chovshi be'artzenu Eretz Zion Yerushalayim. Chag Urim Sameach, a holiday of light that brings some joy. Am Yisrael Chai. See you soon, friends. Take care.